Nice one. Hi, guys. Welcome to the 2020 Welcome Fair. It's been a bit of a shabby start. So basically, if you've had some problem getting onto the website, it's not your laptop, it's UCL. Site's already crashed. So don't worry about that. Just make sure you're here for the rest of the 4 hours or so. We'll have all the sessions streamed live here, so you won't miss out. So my name's James. I'm the president this year. I'm in my final year, 4th year, studying German and history, and this is Saiff.
Hi, I'm Saiff. So I'm treasurer this year, and I'm 3rd year physics, and I play for the threes.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot to say it. I play for the ones. So welcome to UCLMHC. We are one of the fastest growing, most social, and highly recognisable clubs on campus. And what I hope will give you a little insight into today is why you should join, what makes us so great, and what we're going to do this year. Now, obviously there's been a lot of things happening this year. We've had COVID, we've had all the issues I've heard about with housing, at the start of term. And I know this year is going to be a real challenge, but we've already had 2 hockey sessions. Hockey should look remarkably similar. And we hope that we can offer you guys as freshers a brilliant community to get involved in when you can only have 2 people in your fresher halls or, whatever. We hope that we can provide the answer for that. Now, we know that joining different societies can be tough, right? If you're new to the sport, you don't know whether to pick hockey, lacrosse, or football, or whatever, or you don't know whether your time's going to be too stretched. Hopefully, we're going to answer some of those questions today. But to kick us off, Saiff's just going to give a quick rundown of what it's like every week.
Right, so here's a typical week in the hockey club. So we start off with training on Monday evenings. It's in Brent Cross, which it's very easy to access from the Northern Line. You can just get on. Most people live around the Camden area, so you get on around there. It's 4 stops down the Edgware branch. Takes around half an hour, including the walk. And usually in training, it's split between the ones and then the 2s and the 3s on the other half of the pitch. So what we're doing this year is, because of COVID and the amount of people that were allowed to train on the pitch at one time, we're going to have it alternating in the week. So one week it'll be the 1s and 2s training on each half of the pitch, and then the next week it'll be the 1s and 3s, and so on and so forth. So yeah, that's usually your captains will lead your training and your drills during that session. Obviously, if you're in the ones, we've got a coach this year, Ahmed. He's very keen to get started working with you guys. And then on Tuesday, we've got fitness with our fitness head, Chris. So like previously, he's been streaming it over Zoom. So he'll post the Zoom meeting link on our Facebook, and you can click that to join. But I mean, obviously now that people are back in London, there's the opportunity to meet up, obviously social distanced, in Regent's Park, and do some more in-person stuff. So Wednesdays is the traditional match day for all like university sports, but because of COVID, BARCS, which is the British Universities and College Sports League, it's been delayed until January. So what our fantastic president, Mr. Maven's done with some other Londonees is they've set up a little London league for us to keep occupied in first term. So there'll be a mixed tournament at Barnes, which is our pitch this year. It's in South London.
I'll just come in here quickly. Basically, where we're at is I organised a league along with RUMS, which will hopefully start second half of first term. But obviously, because some of our socials won't be possible because of the rule of 6 and everything else, we thought what would be the best way to get everyone integrated, and then we thought mixed tournaments. So what we'll have over 4 Wednesdays this term is 4 mixed game days. So you'll get to meet women's club who we're very close with. Normally on a Wednesday, we'd have a game, and then you'd have a social afterwards with the women's club each week. It might be a theme, and then we'd go out. Obviously, that's not possible this year. So instead, what we've come up with is this mixed tournament. So you can still meet friends, and hopefully the idea would then be you guys can meet outside of hockey as well.
Yeah, nice. So yeah, Thursdays. So Aki's, there's the London Academicals Hockey Club. It's mostly filled with members of the men's hockey club who have graduated and still want to play hockey after uni. But some of our better players in the ones have the opportunity to play with them. So they have training on Thursdays if you want to play even more hockey than what we have on offer. And also there's an opportunity for a virtual pub quiz with our quiz fiend, Carl McIntosh. He's he's fixture, but he loves a good quiz. And that's it's an easy social to do online, social distance in the climate. Friday, a day off to relax, your other friends if you have any. I certainly don't. And yeah, so yeah, on Saturday as well, if you are playing for the Ackies, sometimes they don't have enough players, so they'll ask people from the ones to come in and fill in the gaps. So you have another opportunity to play there. And then yeah, Sunday is another relaxed day.
Yeah, so it's a very fun. We've tried to increase what we offer each week. So hopefully, what you would normally miss out on in terms of socials, we make up for with different activities. So as well, we just give you a little insight into why we joined, because myself, I play hockey before school. I played to a fairly high level. I came to uni to develop my skills, whereas Saiff had never played hockey before and was looking at hockey, lacrosse, other sports that I think I mentioned before. You know, you're a beginner, you don't know where to go. So my point of view was I played a few sports at school to a fairly high level, and I was trying to look at which sports club would help me develop the most. And I came to the first hockey trial session, which for you guys will be next Monday. We'll explain the sign-up process a bit later on. And I immediately saw how professional it was. It was coached. Everyone knew what they were going to do, what they wanted to achieve, had certain goals. And it was a fantastic atmosphere for a high-level player. This year, as Saiff's already said, we've got a great coach in Ahmad. We've also got a fantastic captain in Elliot, who you'll meet later, both of them, when they give you a little introduction to hockey. And this year, I think we've got a brilliant team and we've got a brilliant mindset. So hopefully, you guys, as fresh as when you come trials next Monday, for those advanced and intermediate players, you'll see that. And yeah, my point of view immediately, as soon as I got to the club, was this is an absolutely wonderful place.
Well, yeah, so I'm obviously on the complete opposite spectrum to James, where I didn't really play sport at school, but I really wanted to get involved in any society at uni. So I was walking around the Fresher Fair and I went to lacrosse first. And I thought, oh, that was interesting. Then I went to the hockey store and immediately it was actually the ones captain that year, but he was really nice and he told me like not to worry because we've got 3 teams, one for all area of expertise. So I joined, and the main thing I was looking for, it wasn't really about playing a sport, it was more like making new friends and having like a regular activity that I could do to get in touch with more people and like expand my social circle, which is exactly what the hockey club provided. Like playing in the threes, it's never been too stressful about like learning how to play hockey because most of the people are at that beginner level. It's more just like a relaxing time to be a bit competitive, but also have fun with your mates. So yeah.
Brilliant.
So yeah, what sets apart? Obviously, there's over 300 societies at UCL, so why would you want to come to us? And I would say that, firstly, I think our society is the perfect size to feel like one big family. So obviously, we've got 3 teams, and each team has around like 15 members. But the way we train on Mondays, like we're all on one pitch, even though we're on other half of the pitch, we still interact with each other. And on Wednesdays, we each have our separate games, but usually like people want to stick around to watch someone else play after their game from the sidelines and stuff like that. And when we do have socials, it's not like because we've got a small enough club, there's easy interaction and fluidity between all the teams. So it doesn't really feel like we're one big club with like the experienced and good players are like one clique and then the beginners like another clique. That it feels like we're all like part of one team, really. And competition obviously isn't everything. As like someone who plays in the threes, like everyone understands that not everyone's going to be amazing at hockey, and like we're not expecting to win every game. We're literally just, if you go to training on Monday and try and improve, and then you show up on Wednesday and try your best, that's literally all we're asking for. And yeah, there's a lot of new opportunities this year. Obviously with the whole new mixed league, that's quite exciting for us to have something outside of the traditional Bucks to compete for. And obviously with everything being online, there's the opportunity for even like new and innovative socials that we can put up. And the final point that is about welfare, and that we are a society that takes welfare issues very seriously. Like, we've got a dedicated welfare officer, Andrew, who you'll see later. He's put in a lot of time and effort into trying to make everyone feel welcome. And if you do have any other issues, you can always contact him throughout the year, and anyone else on the committee, to make sure that you're okay. And it's not just also about like improving the welfare of the club. Like, we also want to make an impact on like the university level as well. So he's reached out to societies like Abacus and ACS to try and see how we can improve
improve our community outreach.
Yeah,
I don't think it's something that many sports clubs do at the minute. We obviously, our first thing is to play hockey, but we in past years have seen other clubs not recognise the community around them. And that's a problem, which is a cultural society mostly focused on Asiatic affairs, and then Afro-Caribbean society. So hopefully we can also improve the diversity and with it the culture of the club. And this year, as Saiff said, there's loads of new opportunities, and that's not just limited to the socials. There's lots of different things we've got going. Now, obviously, with COVID, there are some restrictions. And the first thing to say, your safety is our priority. Absolutely. That's why our sign-up process is very comprehensive. And we make sure that at training and at games that we limit transmission as much as possible. So at training, there's a specific procedure we have in place that we'll tell you about when you sign up to one of our sessions, and when you come to one of our sessions, we'll give you a mini safety briefing to make sure everyone's clear on what to do, what not to do, when to socially distance, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, and as we've already said, the mixed league, and this is one of the biggest things I think this year. Social hockey is something that we've done. We have a mixed team, but again, because mixed games won't be happening, at least for this term, because of Bucks, we've just replaced that straight up with what we think could be even better, mixed league with the entirety of the women's club. So hopefully, as a fresher, you guys will get to meet not just the whole of the men's club, but also the women's club. Thirdly, yeah, as we've said already, we've got this London League coming up later in the term, but before that, as a bit of an extended pre-season, we've lined up a few matches against RUMS, which is the medical school. So they're also UCL, but they have a separate club, so we'll be playing against them. And we've already mentioned new types of socials and new opportunities for volunteering. So our wonderful volunteering exec, Henry, who you'll also meet later, has partnered with a charity called Hockey Inner City, run by a former Great British Olympian, that specialises in providing hockey and fitness for underprivileged kids in and around London. And we thought it was an absolutely fantastic opportunity to get involved with a great cause. So there'll be regular volunteering opportunities, which is great for us, great for the club, great for the community, and great for you as well to meet new and different types of people in and around London. And finally, again, as we've already said, Andy will talk about welfare later, but just a quick lowdown on that. There'll be online sessions, there'll be coffee mornings, drop-ins, and anonymous things as well. You know, we realise that being in halls can be quite isolating at the best of times in London, and now that's even more difficult. So not only are we offering, you know, support on the pitch, but and as we put at the bottom there, you know, obviously it's a challenge, but actually it's a brilliant opportunity for us to try new things and hopefully come up with even better opportunities for you to expand your university experience. So where can you find us this week? Well, obviously we're talking today now. This is our session. Welcome to hockey. And then later we'll have an introduction to hockey with Elliot, one's captain, Zain, marketing, and Ahmad, the coach. First half, giving a lowdown on the basics of hockey. If you're a beginner and you want to know how's it played, what are the rules, those kind of things. And then in the second half will be a bit more about the club's ethos. So if you're an advanced player, you want to know how we play, what's our style, what are we looking for in players, then tune into that as well. And then finally today, we've also got the introduction to volunteering and welfare. Obviously, Andy and Henry are specialists in these areas. They've receive specific training, so they can tell you guys all about what we have planned for this year. Then Saturday is a second welcome fair day. We'll be replaying all of these sessions, so don't worry if you miss one today, you can just watch it back on Saturday. And then in the evening, you'll have the opportunity to meet all of committee and hopefully some of the returning members. You can ask any questions you like. and just get to know us. And we'll do a quiz then as well, just to make sure that everyone knows each other's names and we get over that icebreaker, icebreaker period. And then Monday, yeah, so as I said, first trial session, and that's for intermediate and experienced advanced players, you know, whatever you want to call it. So that's for players who want to trial for our first team and our second team. We'll post on Facebook and on Instagram the sign-up process after this, but the best way for you to get involved is to join our freshers group, and the link for that is on our Instagram and the link and also on our Facebook page. So join the freshers group. We'll post later in the week about how you can sign up. And then finally, Wednesday, second trial session, and that's completely for beginners. The reason we split it up is so we tailor it. You know, if you need some help, if you truly are a beginner, we can give you the training and hopefully make it fun as well. Play some small-sided games at the end. So that's this week. And finally, how can I join? Well, we know already that the Welcome Fair page is having some trouble. So what you can also do is go to the Students' Union website, the main website, find our club, which is Hockey Club Men's in brackets, and then you can choose one of these memberships. So first thing to say is if you want to play for UCL, you want to represent us, play in a team competitively, you're going to want to go for competitive. And basically what that gives you is as a head to represent UCL, to buy kit as well, which is included in that price within the £70 price, and also to get a discount from our supplier Y1 for shin pads, for gloves, for whatever you need, sticks. And that's obviously for players with experience and people who want to develop their skills. If you're a social member or a complete beginner and you don't really fancy the competitive stuff, but you want to get involved in the mixed stuff, then that's it. That's non-competitive for you. That's £30. Doesn't get you the kit, but obviously you can still come to training, you can still come to fitness, and you can play the mixed league. The idea there is that it's great for a beginner because obviously it's far more relaxed, and for people who might be really busy, if you're playing two sports, it's a lot less commitment. So hopefully you can fit it around. If you have trouble working out what you want, or if you want to try out several sports, then remote is the one for you. That's our trial membership. So you can come along to our welcome sessions, to our trials, and then after that, you can choose to upgrade to one of the other levels. That's also for anyone who won't be in London in term. Please message our page, get remote membership. It's completely free. And you can join in all our virtual socials and stuff. So hopefully you can still get involved in our community, even if you aren't actually there in person. The idea is that it shouldn't be a change in experience if you're in person or you're at home, for whatever reason that might be. Okay, well, I think that's us. Now, obviously you might have some questions. If you don't, absolutely fine. If you do, brilliant. And this is the way we're going to do it. So you go to slido.com and you enter the event code 97909, and then you can just type a question and hopefully it should come up. Now, we're just going to spend a second changing the screen, and then hopefully we can answer some of your questions.
Yeah, we're back. So if you have any questions, please spend the next, I think, half an hour or 45 minutes.
Yeah, we'll just be around. If anything comes up, then feel free to answer any questions you might have. We'll just be here to answer anything. So fire away. Okay, so we've got questions here. Let's go from the top. Best thing about the club? So many things. Well, in normal circumstances, obviously, I would have said the socials. They're absolutely fantastic. And as Saiff's already said, because of the size of the club, it means that you get to know all the teams really quickly. So hopefully by term 2, we should be back to at least 30 or so people being able to congregate. And then hopefully we can run some socials.
I definitely have to say the people. So for me, that's one of the main reasons I wanted to join any society, is to make new friends. And as soon as I joined, it was clear how friendly and engaging everyone was. Everyone's willing to meet new people, make new friends, and be inclusive, and just have fun. So I say that, yeah, the best thing about the club is the friends I've made on the way.
Wow. How good are you? Bloody hell, what's this? Well, if we're talking not very, in general, I'm great, thanks. How are you? What about you, Saiff?
In terms of hockey, I'm quite bad. I've been playing for 2 years, but I'm still pretty awful. Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, great question about trials. So the way it'll work is posts will probably go out on Thursday or Friday in the freshers group, and essentially there's 3 parts to the sign up process. So you'll read a document which is basically our guidance of processes. So basically what you have to do before, which is essentially signing an attendance register and self-assessing for symptoms, what you have to do during, which is, you know, all common sense stuff, socially distancing when you're not playing, and what you need to do afterwards. Then we'll do a quiz on that. So you'll have to take a quiz and you have to get everything right. And we also have a code of conduct, which essentially it just binds you to the guidance that we've set out. Now, England Hockey have also got an agreement, it's very short, very quick, that you need to sign just for them, and that's for track and trace purposes, just to make sure that they can keep a track as well of everyone that's coming. And then finally, you need to buy membership. So that's why that how can I join slide is so important. You need to buy membership this year before you start playing. And then on Monday, how it will work is it'll be a proper training session. You guys will be wearing bibs. Hopefully they'll have numbers on them. And that's how we'll keep track of everyone. And on Wednesday, as I said already, it'll be basically a basics session. So everyone can get to know the sport. And then after that, we'll play some fun games. What league do you play? Oh yeah, sorry, yeah.
Just the thing about trials, like if you do come to trials and after that you get put in a team that you weren't hoping to get into, don't worry too much about that because it's very fluid. The teams don't play, and like after trials, it's not set in stone. Like throughout the year, how if the captain thinks you're good, then you'll have the opportunity to play in a higher team. It could be like if they think you're that good, you'll have the opportunity to play in a lower team. But we do have 3 teams of all types of skill levels, so you will always have an opportunity to play no matter what team you're in.
Yeah, exactly, and that's exactly, and yeah, something I neglected to mention. Even for the first team, it's very fluid between the 1 and 2. So don't worry about it too much. We have to call them trials because there's literally no other word. But it's very much us getting to know you and you getting to know us. So it's not that formal. What league do you play in? Well, so the 1s play in Southeastern 2B. The 2s play.
They play in Southeastern Tier 4 and the 3s play in Southeastern Tier 5.
And that basically means we've got a nice spread of teams. So that's what we were saying about whatever your ability, there's something for you. So the 1s play at very high level already, and then the 2s are in the middle, obviously, as you would expect, and the 3s still play competitive level, but they're at the top end of the league. That's fair.
Yeah, we've almost been promoted 2 years in a row. It's come down to 1 game at the end of the season.
Yeah.
So if anyone's a good forward, please come and help us score goals. That's all we need.
And goalkeepers. We love a goalkeeper. Yeah. Right. Is there a hockey varsity? Yes, absolutely. It's a huge event. So hockey varsity this year will happen between the 12th of March and the 14th, hopefully. Dependent obviously, but that's what we've planned for at the minute. And it's huge. So last year we had maybe 400 spectators come along, KCL, UCL, and it's played at the Olympic Park in the evening. So as I've just mentioned, us, King's College London, West Union London, and what happens is the women's play and then the men's play, and it's a huge social afterwards, huge social, because as you can imagine, 400 people is quite a lot. We basically club. And it's a fantastic day. If you're playing, if you're not playing, it's a brilliant, brilliant event. Okay. Do you want to take that one?
Yeah, sure. So I would say that the selection is not based at all on skill. If you're worried about your fitness condition, like weekly fitness sessions with Chris of FitnessSec, if you come to those every week, I'm sure that your fitness level will increase quite rapidly. Also, I'm sure if you got any questions to him and what other things you can be doing outside those sessions to improve your fitness as well, that would help. That would improve as well. Also, if you're going to training on Mondays and you're playing on Wednesdays as well, I think you'll find, and you're going to fitness, so that's three days a week that you exercise, so you'll find very quickly that your fitness is improving. Also, in terms of skill level, if you're not very good at hockey, then the 3s is the perfect place for you because we don't really care how good you are. we just want to go on the pitch and have fun. So like whatever skill level you're at, there'll always be a place for you to play. So I wouldn't come to trial and worry too much about what your skill level is. So, yeah.
And just on the high end, you know, if you're someone who's played at school, but, you know, you've lost fitness over the last few months, that's absolutely and this ties into a question just below. Someone said, as someone who plays hockey at a high level, I can't decide between joining a London club or the men's hockey club. What are the reasons to choose our club? Well, basically, both are compatible. So we play on Mondays and Wednesdays, and most London clubs would play on a Tuesday or Thursday for the training, and then they would actually play their games on a Saturday. So what we'd normally recommend is that you join our team, and then you can play extra club hockey if you really want to push yourself. You know, if you want to go and play Hampton and Westminster ones, absolutely fantastic. And you can do both. So we don't really see it as a choice between the two. What we normally expect is that you do both. If it's something where you really think you could only do one time, we do understand, obviously, if you want to play high level hockey, but I would have an answer to that. And that would be, you know, we have a fantastic coach who plays IGK ones. Our captain from Belgium is an extremely high level player. You know, we do feel we already have the infrastructure to help you. And if you're playing for a London club that has, you know, 6 or 7 teams, mostly guys above 28, let's say, you know, you're not seeing other students. And normally that would be absolutely fine. But in COVID times, we think it would be far better for freshers to meet other freshers. And the only way you're going to do that, obviously, is by joining our club. So to answer that question, well, in the first instance, if you have to choose, then we would obviously say our club. We do think there's many reasons why. And obviously message our page if you want to talk about it more. But realistically, we think it's very possible to do both. And coming back to the fitness, that means that if you're worried about your fitness as well, and you'll want to push for the ones, well, you know, I trained Monday, trained last night, training again today, and then we've got a game on Saturday. So you'll find, as Saiff said, that your fitness will go up very, very quickly.
Also, like, yeah, I'd say the social aspect is a big part of choosing between a London club or our hockey club. And yeah, I think like if you join as a fresher, you'll make friends that will last throughout your university career, which is something that I think is like irreplaceable between actually playing hockey or not.
Yeah, no, definitely. So someone said, just out of interest, how good are other unis at hockey? Well, if I'm talking about my experience of the ones, we came second this year in the league. We only just missed out on promotion to Portsmouth. So it's quite hard to say, but the standard is very high. Normally the way it would work is in our league, there's 6 teams. 4 would be a similar standard to us, obviously not as good. And then 2 kind of drop off at the lower end. But I would say it's a very competitive league. And the great thing about London is there's so many teams in close proximity. So this London League we have organised for later in the term. We also have teams like Imperial Medics, and we also have the King's Medics called GKT, who are even better. They're in a higher league. So you also get a chance to play against even better teams this term, which you wouldn't. And that's tying into what I said earlier. You know, normally in normal times, we wouldn't be playing those because of COVID. Ironically, actually, we have a better opportunity to play better teams and develop more. So, yeah.
It's like all unis have a relatively similar team structure where they've got like 3 or 4 teams and they're distributed like evenly across all the tiers. So I'd say like every uni has like an equal distribution of really good, like a really good team, like a mid-tier team, and then a beginners team.
Mm-hmm. And which unis do we typically play against? Well, I've already mentioned 3, KCL, GKT, Imperial Medics. Then we also play against, obviously, Imperial, the actual uni. Teams like Brunel, which is a university on the edge of London, Queen Mary's, St Bart's, which is the medics version of Queen Mary's, and several other teams outside of London, like Portsmouth.
And we play Canterbury in our league as well.
And Reading. So it tends to be teams from London and the Southeast. If you're really interested in which teams we play against, you can download Bucks Play, which is an app, and that'll give you information on any sport, not just hockey, and which teams are in which league. So if you go, for example, to men's Southeast and 2B, you'll find the ones. You can see which teams we play against normally. And then if you go to the fourth tier, you'll see which teams play against the twos and so on and so forth for the threes. Will there be a tour this year? Yes. So right now, we're in a situation where the union has said, and quite rightly so, trips abroad can't happen, but that's just for term one. So normally our tour would happen June at the end of the year, and it's a huge blowout post exams. I think last year we had about 80 to 90 people come. It's a huge thing again, and we'd go away to a sunny beachside resort somewhere, maybe play a bit of hockey, but mostly relaxing, going out and just having fun post exam. So yes, there will be a tour this year. I can't give you a definite date yet because, as I say, the union won't let us proceed with the planning. But as a guide, last year it happened around June.
Somewhere in Spain.
Somewhere in
Spain. I
Spain.
can tell you now.
Exactly. Somewhere with a beach.
Yeah.
Right. Well, we'll sit here, and if you guys got any more questions, fire away. But otherwise, thanks very much for listening. And the next session is at 2 to 3, and that's what I said earlier. Is the introduction to hockey with Zen, Ahmad, and Elliot.